And uh, before going further, if you have any questions, you can ask. So we were talking about the connectivity. So we are here as a front end. So this is our front end. Okay. Like our laptop or mobile or whatever. This is our front end. We're making the app. And then we are connected. The screen is being shared, right? Ah, good this time. My apologies. Okay, front end, and then you're connected to the back end over here. And this is my back end, and this is on-prem, okay? On-prem. Now, what happened is that, and then you're getting the response and request and response. You requested and you got a response. How did you request it? Through OData. And OData is built over a protocol that is called as HTTP. And using HTTP, you got the request and response. This is the widely used stuff, the protocol for connecting between the two services, between two systems, I'm sorry. Now, in the on-prem, the problem is that, the cost of, you know, uh, the cost of hardware installation and the service and the maintenance and those things also is connected to having an on-prem server. You need a lot of space, maintenance, and those things. So maybe let's say again talking about the red tape. Red tape has installed the hardware uh, inside its premise. Now somebody is poking. Yeah, you. So red tape has installed everything inside its premise. A big server room, and maybe at the beginning when the red tape has started functioning or it became a company, then it might not have a requirement that need a certain amount of space, right? But then what it did is that beforehand it installed a lot many things that was not required at that moment. Okay, so you have a big server room with a big servicing that is required, and a lot of taking care is required for it. Now, in replacement of this thing, there is another thing that is called as cloud. That is called as cloud. Now, these days, people are moving into cloud. What is cloud? It's nothing but another big space that one company is holding, or maybe more, like AWS, Amazon Web Service, like AZURE, Azure, and many more, right? Those are cloud providers. So what they are having is a server space even bigger than the on-prem server, but it can accommodate multiple companies into it. Now, let's say red tape only required, let's say, uh, this much of a space. And but at the beginning, when it was actually getting the on-prem server establishment done, it beforehand, it you it put more things into it because they knew that they might require it in future. But when the solution like cloud came, then whatever space you require, they will only provide you that much of a space. So let's say this is the space that is now used by the on cloud. I'm saying a big server space that is used by uh, the company called as Red Tape. This spaces. And it has got multiple fragments inside it, as I talked about, A, B, C, D, those fragments inside it. But instead of going, full on with the on-premise, what they can do is that they can have uh, a cloud-based uh, storage system and retrieval system. And in future, if they want to extend it further, because now there is more requirement of that thing, they don't have to take care of its servicing or any kind of thing, because AWS or Azure or any of these sorts of company are going to take care of it. But if they want more space, let's say tomorrow they say we want more space, so what they can do is that they can allocate more space to this red tape. So it's easy and it's scalable. That means you can have anytime we can make the space bigger or smaller according to our requirements for our company. So this is what is called as cloud. So and now when we want to even connect, so there is one thing, we have the cloud, we have the backend also. Now, well, some companies also have both the things. Part of the things they put on cloud, part of the things on-prem. Right now, companies don't actually are on completely on the cloud. So part of them is there on the cloud. So, but then they require a connectivity between the backend and the cloud and the cloud, right? So, and this thing, if you heard about the SAP BTP Business Technology Platform, so this particular platform is actually providing you these cloud service. But in order to make a connectivity between your backend that was on-prem, you see, on-prem, you require a connectivity between the two. So how is the connectivity made? It is made using a cloud connector. So, and then there is, let me just remove this part from here. Part from here. So if you're getting confused, do not get confused, or either you can ask questions from me. So I'm not getting the point. So what you're saying about the cloud. So then I will give you a very general answer for it so that you can hold it. If you are getting confused, I'm saying, right. So then you use a cloud connector, and that cloud connector connects between the backend. And so let's say I have an app, front-end app, like a front-end developer is making a front-end app. So that is made on BAS, one of the tools that is there on SAP BTP. So again, you can directly connect it to the database over here. And let me just tell you, BTP provides everything, business technology platform, because in future, I think most of the people, not everybody, people will move into BTP as a full stack. As a full stack, that means many of the companies are shifting from, their on-prem to some extent to the cloud. So, and BTP is the platform that is providing them with the database and with the backend and with the front end tools. Those are required to develop the app. So, so what you are doing over here is sitting as a front end. Now, remember, what did you do the last time? The front end is here, request response. You connected to the OData service. Here, if you're not connected to the cloud connector, that means I'm not connected to the backend. I'm not connected to my backend. Separately, Red Tape owns a cloud. So no problem. I don't need this cloud connector in that case, unless I don't want the backend, my on-prem to be connected to the cloud. I don't need it. Means it's a separate environment. But what if I want both the things? Maybe my backend or maybe the separate presence of it. So no problem, both are possible in it. So you're building the app on Bash, and then you can deploy the app the way you were deploying over here. You can deploy the app in the Cloud Foundry. Okay, that's the runtime for your app. You can deploy the app. Here you deploy the above background. Here you deploy in the Cloud Foundry. So that's a runtime for the app. And here you can make a launchpad the way you made the launchpad over here. You can make the launchpad over here also. Absolutely the same system, but try to understand this thing if you're getting confused in case that absolutely the same thing. The only thing is that we went to cloud, right? Done it up to this point. But what if I don't want to push all the things into the cloud. Rather, I want separate things to be there in the cloud and also part of connectivity with my own on-prem. Then I need a cloud connector, which everybody will be having very soon on the fourth or the fifth day or the third day, on the fourth day possibly, right? So everybody's laptop will be cloud connected. We won't be working on cloud on BAS until we are finished with Web IDE, right? But the connectivity will be done before that. And then we'll be working. We will not be working on BAS either. We'll be working on Web IDE so that you can understand the folder structure right from the very scratch, very beginning, how things work. Because whether you're working on Web IDE or BAS, it's the same thing. So why I'm not choosing BAS to work on? Because BAS doesn't provide you, a kind of a stack level working, like with one folder, with one file, then second file, then third file. No, BAS gives you a complete kind of a folder structure at the beginning. Then you can start to code. But then the moment you get a lot of folders in a go, that's a bit confusing, right? So we'll go one by one in the Web IDE, then we can go into the BAS. Then the moment you go into BAS, you will find things are very much the same as you have done in the Web IDE. Okay, so so this is how it is done. Now, if you want to, so the cloud connector is some sort of connectivity that connects your backend to your cloud. And one more thing that is required in it is the destination. We need to configure the destination so that, let's say you want to make an app, then you require a destination to your on-prem. So one is connectivity over here, then configuring it through the destination, and then all the OData services, those are there in the backend, are also available in the BAS over here. So we will see how we will make the destination. And the cloud connector, for the cloud connector, you have to talk to your basis team, and the CR will do over there. Let me just stop the video for a while so that I can just brief you what happens in it. This part. So we will deploy the app into the Cloud Foundry, and we'll deploy the app in the backend. So these are the things you should know beforehand that in the interview, these questions will be asked. Okay. So if you have the holistic understanding of everything, you will not get confused. Because even to say no, that no, we have not done is a big thing, because I know these things are there and we have not done it, right? Or if you say I don't know, or you're groping for answers, that's crazy. Okay, you should not be doing that. So you should be confident enough to tell that. And so there are four things. So as I was talking about, we'll deploy the app, and we will also make the launchpad both in the backend and in the Cloud Foundry. Okay, launchpad requires making the package and the groups and catalogs and some TRs is also required. That's a just stop it.